Hi, this is Ben from Venture, and this is the video handover tour for your new Redline Sport Plus camper van. So first of all, we'll start on the outside and then we'll head on to the inside. So first of all, so you can see the alloy wheels that have now been fitted. You can also see the multi-rail there, and to use the multi-rail you feed the awning in from the rear, and it's important that whilst you're feeding the awning in, particularly in this section, that the awning is supported whilst it's fed through there. So as we just open up the passenger door, this is going to give you access to your fuel filler cap. So inside there you'll find your regular diesel filling point at the top, and then just below your AdBlue filling point. Now when the AdBlue is due to be refilled, it will notify on your dashboard and it will basically count you down in mileage. When it's due to be refilled, it will give you an upper and a lower value of how much AdBlue to add into the system. Now I would always recommend to add directly between those two values and never to overfill the system. Depending on driving styles and conditions, a full tank of AdBlue will normally give you in the region of 4,000 to 6,000 miles of range. So it doesn't have to be refilled every time you refuel the vehicle. Then carrying round. So just at the rear, directly underneath the vehicle, you will find your spare wheel. Now it is held into place on a carrier. So to access that carrier, use your wheel brace that you'll find on your jack, which is underneath the double bed at the back. So the two bolts that hold it into place, so say using the wheel brace, one of the bolts unders all the way and drops to the ground, the other unders partially and then keeps spinning. Now when it keeps spinning, you can then knock the carrier to the side and then the spare wheel will come down, and obviously then you've got your jack and your wheel brace to change a tyre if needed. Now being that the vehicle is still covered by the original VW manufacturer's warranty, you still get the balance of the 3-year roadside assistance package. And effectively the roadside assistance is a breakdown scheme. So in the event of a breakdown or potentially a flat tyre, roadside assistance can be called and they can come to help you. Details of that can be found inside your main Redline pack, and you'll find a leather case that's basically the VW manual, and you'll find a small A5 brochure with the numbers and the details about that service. As we just open up, obviously you can see it's been tinted at the rear. We've got your gas locker. So normally you've got the door on there, but you've got your camping gas bottle there. Now to control the gas, you control it on and off by the top of the valve there. So to turn the gas on, it is anti-clockwise, and that can be turned on as soon as you're on site. But as soon as you want to leave site or leave the vehicle or drive away, you need to make sure that gas is isolated at the bottle, so you rotate it clockwise to turn it off. But if you forget, there's a small little diagram on the end there just to go over that for you. Then as we go round, we've got your water filling point here. Now this gives you access to your 6 litre onboard water tank. So to access this, you take your key, your water cap key. So you've got one on your main set, one on your spare set of keys. So you pop the key in, twist the key, and then take the key out. You can then twist it and it'll come away, and obviously you can then use a watering can or a hose pipe to top that up. Once you've filled it up, so then lock it back into position, you take the cap, twist it in until it won't twist anymore. Take your water cap key, twist it, lock it, take the key out, and then as long as that freely spins, it's locked into place and it's not going to go anywhere. Now when you are filling up the tank, it is 6 litres in capacity. If you do overfill the tank, you will start to hear water dripping out underneath because there is an overflow for that tank. Now for travelling purposes, we recommend travelling with a maximum of 20 litres in the tank. So if you do need to drain the tank, there are a couple of options, and you'll also want to drain the tank for winter storage and for prolonged storage as well. So first of all, underneath the vehicle, between the two rear wheels, you've got the tank itself, and there is a big black cap on there that can be unscrewed to drop the water onto the floor very quickly. Alternatively, you can leave the tap open, it'll pump the water from the tank through the sink, then it'll exit via the waste pipe underneath there. So underneath the side, you've got the exhaust there for both the diesel heater and also the waste pipe for your grey waste water. So that goes through the outside. We'll then just head on to the inside and show you through some of the internal features. So first of all, we'll step in and we're just going to go to the main control panel on the panel here. So first of all, you've got your main switch. So you've got master off, master on. This then provides power to your 12-volt systems and also your touch LED lighting. If you need to turn off the individual lights, you just touch the outer frame of those. You've got obviously the time on there. You can scroll through to adjust settings, look at your internal temperature, and then also look at your leisure battery voltage as well. Now with the leisure battery, obviously on the outside, you've got your mains plug-in point, so you can plug in your mains cable just next to the water filling point. That then plugs in. That will provide power to your two 230 volt sockets and also your battery charger. So unfortunately without that cable in, those sockets and battery charger won't work. But as soon as you plug in that mains cable, your battery charger, which is just in the locker there, which we'll show you in a moment, will start to charge up your leisure battery. So a fully charging leisure battery will normally be between 13.5 to 14 volts. A fully charged leisure battery that isn't receiving a charge will be at around about 12.5 to 12.7 volts. And a flat leisure battery is considered at just over 11 volts. So if you do get towards 11 volts, you do need to think about either driving the vehicle or plugging it in, because that voltage, the performance of say like the fridge, the lights will start to decline and you can risk damaging the health of the battery. So ours is currently at 11.5, so we'll just plug that in just to bring it back up for you. You've then got your water pump, so if you want to use your water pump, pump on, pump off. You've got your light switch, which does the lights, and then you've also got the switch there that does the underneath ones. So that one does your low level spotlights, that one does your under cabinet kitchen light. Your final lights are your colour changing LED lights here, which are controlled with the remote. The sensor for the remote is just on the side panel there. So to turn it on, you've got the on switch there, and obviously to turn it off. So we'll turn it on. You've then got all your colours. So we'll go for orange to match the van, blue, and obviously then you've got your different settings there, so you can have different patterns where they kind of scroll through or flash, and then you've also got the brightness there. So that's just on the remote for the coloured lights. Obviously you've got your main sockets there, and then USB points which you'll find around the campus. You've got one there, one up there, and then one by the door as well. So just inside this rear locker, you've got your main battery charger. You've got your 230 volt trip switches there. So now your trip switches will be for anything mains based, like the main feed coming in, the battery charger, and for the sockets. Now if they blow, you just flick them back up like you would do at home just to reset them. Along the bottom row there, you've then got your 12 volt blade fuses, your coloured blade fuses. Now with the 12 volt blade fuses, if they do blow, you just have to pull them out and replace it with a completely new fuse. So it may be worth just keeping an assorted pack with you. But the 12 volt blade fuses will be for things like your lights, your fridge, your auxiliary circuits, your USB points. They are labelled as to which one is which as well. If you do replace it, you do then need to replace it with the same ampage fuse. Obviously you've got storage in there, and then you've also got your second battery to battery charger, which charges from the vehicle side there, but the rest of that is for storage. You do have an on and off switch there for the charger, but you can just leave that on, and that will go on and off with your mains cable plugging in and out. Should also mention that your mains cable is in a box just underneath your seat there. Carbon monoxide alarm there. Obviously as soon as you power on the system, that'll then power up. And that is just obviously for the safety whilst you're using the gas systems on board. And obviously we've got the tamper door that pulls round there. Obviously got the pull-out drawer, removable worktop. But then we just go onto your diesel heater. So I'm just going to set the camera down just to show you the diesel heater. So first of all, to basically wake up the diesel heater, you can just press this return key here, and it then powers up the system. So what you can see with this information here, your voltage, internal temperature, and then your time. You can then press the center button to enter into your menus and your different features. So you've got heating. Enter then the temperature mode again by clicking down. Select your desired temperature. It'll then illuminate here, and you can scroll around to select your time. So you can set the time there, and obviously that will then just keep working for that period of time, and obviously then cutting in and out once it reaches its desired temperature. When you're then happy with your settings, you can press OK. The screen will go blank for a little bit, but then it will bring you, when it's ready to use, onto the diesel heater. So this icon here shows you that the diesel heater is on, And you can look just at the top there, you've got the timer there, so you can see how long it's then going to be on for as well. If I want to turn the diesel heater off, with this illuminated, I just rotate round and it says off, click OK, it will then say switching off, and you'll notice that that LED light goes from red back to white there. Now a few other settings, you've got ventilation. Now this is just a cold air fan, so if it's hot in the vehicle you can just use it to distribute the air. You've got your fan speed, again your duration, and then you can click down. So again, it'll give you your timer at the top there. It'll go blue this time for the ventilation. Fan there to tell that the ventilation is on, and then to turn it off again, you just rotate round. To turn it off, obviously, so switching off, that'll go from blue back to white. Settings, and then timers in there as well. So if you do want to program timers for the heater to come on at certain times, say you're going to be waking up at 8 AM, you can set the heater to come on at 7:30, so it's nice and warm. But you'll have more information on that inside the pack. Obviously that's the diesel heater there. Takes the fuel from your regular diesel tank, so there's no separate tank to fill up, and obviously you've got the outlet just down there as well. So we go on to the kitchen facilities. So first of all, just start with the tap. So obviously as long as you've got water on board, your pump is switched on, you can then just bleed the water through, like so. Then we go on to your hob and grill. So with the hob, as long as the gas is on, you do have to bleed it through slightly. So just keep the control valve open and then click the igniter. There we go. And then the second one, there we go. Now you can take these out, so you can get your cloths in and around there for cleaning. But we only recommend to have the hob on if you've got like a saucepan or a kettle on top, because just the naked flame can risk damaging these cupboards above with the extra heat. So always have like a kettle or a saucepan on top whilst they are on. But obviously whilst you're cooking, you can use the ventilation. So you've got the mesh panel and the roof tent there, your sliding windows on either side, and obviously the big sliding door itself. Just make sure then that the gas is off and cold before you put your glass lid down. Now to use the grill pan in there, you've got to pull out heat guard at the top. Sorry, it's slightly harder with one hand. So this just protects these surfaces from any of the heat damage. And then to use it, again, just open the control valve and click the igniter. And you can see it's lit there. You may just need to click it a few times just for the gas to bleed through. Just inside this locker, just up on the side there, you've got a couple of gas isolation taps. So if for a safety reason you did need to isolate one appliance but still use the other, you can do that using the taps there. They are labelled. But for normal operation, on and off the top of the bottle is absolutely fine. Then we just go into your fridge. So to use your fridge, just opens up on this side here. You can turn it on with a power button. It'll all light up. Then eventually when it's ready to use, it'll go down to 2 blue lights. So that first blue light tells you that the fridge is on and it's actively cooling itself down. But to save power, what this fridge will do is once it's reached its desired temperature, it will shut off to save power. When it shuts off, that blue light will be replaced with an orange light. Eventually, if you leave the door open for a while, or the fridge or the temperature increases naturally in the fridge, it'll then kick back in and go back to blue, and it'll be working again. On this side, you've then got your temperature control. Obviously, the bigger the dot, the colder the fridge will be. Freezer box at the top there, it does slide out if you don't want it. If you want to make your fridge space bigger by removing the freezer box, you can then use the super cool setting where the fridge gets even colder. And to do that, you just hold down on the temperature button there for 3 seconds and it'll illuminate that bottom one there. But you say you do have to remove the freezer box for that. If you are getting low on your voltage, the biggest draw will be your fridge. So you may just need to increase the fridge temperature slightly or turn it off and leave the door shut if you are getting low with no way to charge it. To then turn it off, you can press the power button there and it will all go off. Just at the top, you've got a vent button, so you can slide that over. That locks the door closed but keeps it open, so it allows the air to circulate whilst you're not using it, and it keeps it nice and fresh for you. Now when you start the vehicle, everything in the back will go off. The only thing that will stay running will be the fridge, so you can still use that whilst driving, keeping your food and drinks chilled whilst you're going down the road. So that kind of goes through your kitchen appliances. Obviously then you've got your van shade window pods, which just pull down there, nice and easy to use. Obviously you've got your pop top elevating roof, mesh panels, window at the front. But what I'll do is attach a separate video on how to use just the roof, so that'll go through all the details, obviously making sure that bits like this are clipped shut, but again the video will go through that for you. And then finally we just go on to the swivelling single seats. So obviously we've got both swiveled at the moment. So to swivel them, what you have, you can just see it inside there's that red lever, so that will just pull and it will disengage and allow you to spin it round. But with both seats, what you will need to do is first of all make sure the seat is raised using the height adjuster. If the seat is too low, you will then catch the seat plastics on the swivelling base and you do risk damaging, so you need to make sure it's lifted up so it's nice and clear. You then may need to slide the seat backwards and forwards and recline the seat just to rotate it to get it past the pillars. The driver's seat is very much the same, slightly more turning involved, but before you can rotate it, you do need to make sure that the handbrake is lowered. So to do that, first of all you need to put the vehicle into gear, make sure that the vehicle is stable, and if required the wheels are chocked. You can then lower the handbrake and then obviously spin the seat. But obviously again, just making sure that the seat is raised up using the lever on the side there, just so it can rotate nice and easily. So that was just a quick video tour on how to use your new camper van. I'll also, as I said, attach a video on how to use the roof and also how to use the rock and roll bed as well. So I hope you found the video helpful. If you do have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.